welcome to the Community Super League Week 9. We are Maria and Meghan of Magic the Amateuring, joined by Aaron Forsyth of Wizards of the Coast, ready to do battle coming up here. The format this week, Pauper.
Pauper. Maria, what on earth does Pauper mean? For those of us not in the Pauper know.
It means poor people, Meghan.
What? Okay.
I mean, specifically British poor people around like Dickinson times.
Oh, okay. So this is a format where we're playing all Dickensian creatures.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Or
I'll be playing the role of Bob Cratchit.
I'll be Tiny Tim.
Meghan, you're a perfect
God bless
Tiny
us,
Tim.
everyone.
Thank you, I think.
I want to be Kermit the Frog.
Okay, you can be Kermit the Frog.
Okay, I'm doing Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay, but that means that we're technically doubled up on Bob Cratchits.
Oh, that's true. Okay, scratch that. I'll rethink it. I'll rethink
we're gonna have to work it out. Or, Maria, hypothesis.
Yes.
Aaron, tell me how you feel about this. It could also mean a Magic format where you can only play commons.
That sounds better, yeah.
Okay.
All right, sure. I can get behind that.
Maybe just today, we'll go with that one.
Yes, Pauper is the format of the week. All of our community heroes have built Pauper decks. Very interesting builds. We're playing, personally, I don't want to spoil it quite yet, but we're playing one of my favorite decks of all time, the Pauper version. So you can play some of your favorite decks from other formats in Pauper. That's what's kind of cool about it, and it's really budget friendly. Yeah.
Aaron, we haven't played a ton of Pauper. What's your experience with the format?
Play testing for this. We monitor it at the office because we run the banned and restricted list for it. And the Magic Online Pauper is actually quite different from what people play in physical paper cards, because there's been all these like master sets and other sets that have released cards as commons that there aren't paper versions of that are common. So it's a kind of fascinating format that exists only on Magic Online in this particular way. But there are tons of interesting decks. Some of them are quite powerful.
Yeah, and with the release of Eternal Masters, it's gotten a lot of Pauper players super excited because their cards are now printed and easier and cheaper to get.
Yes, and I believe that there were some adjustments. Peregrine Drake, I want to say.
Yep.
Is one of the cards that used to be an uncommon and is now printed at common. So that it also had some adjustments in terms of what cards are playable in the format.
And something that's really cool this week is that there is a lot riding on the outcomes of these games, because next week it's the finals.
It's not just the finals; it is playoff time.
Okay,
which are like hyper.
Which is before the finals. This is it. This is the last round of round robin, week 9. We've all played each other. This will be the last set of matchups. And I am fortunate to still be in position to, fingers crossed, all sorts of things need to go right, make the playoffs.
That's right. We are standing between you and a playoff position.
We are the dream killers this week.
That is who we are, and we embrace it.
We do.
Fully.
You know, I really feel my mean side coming out.
So you can see here the current standings. In blue, we have match wins, and in red, we have Brewmaster points. Brewmaster is its own challenge that comes with its own prize, so that doesn't factor into who makes the playoffs, unless there are too many people with the same record, at which point Brewmaster points are a tiebreaker.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for right now. I need to win, and then Mr. Cheon needs to lose.
Yes. Yeah. And you also need to beat him out, I believe, in the Brewmaster standings.
It's I think Kenji is the only player who is locked for a spot in the playoffs right now. Gabby gets one if she wins. I believe Loading Ready Run gets in if they win. I'm not sure, but it's really close. Is what I'm trying to say. Kenji is the only one that's in for sure.
Yeah.
7-2 record. Kind of running away with this thing.
Yeah. Right now, we also have, as you mentioned, Paul and Gabby. I believe are both in for sure with wins, and then we've got Aaron, who is on the other end of this, we might be, it's like I said, it comes down to we are the final bound. We are the wall.
We are what's standing between you and your greatest achievement in life. the playoffs of the CSL.
Of the CSL.
That is true. So I've only gone 4-4 in actual matches, so I'm not. I feel like, how in the heck am I still alive to make the playoffs? But that fifth win was the wizard voting on decks, where I beat you guys. So that's how I'm still in this.
That is very true. That is very true. And I mean, it just is going to make that either you can double down on victory, or we're going to have some sweet vengeance shall be ours.
I will say that
we don't know exactly.
Meeting you guys in the flavor competition is my happiest moment of this event so far, because of the beatdown that you gave us with the Hungry Spriggan deck at the Community Cup.
Yeah, there is some backstory to our rivalry in the flavor world.
Yes. I would say it is one of, it's a flavor rivalry that is standing the test of time.
Yeah, I believe our children will also continue this rivalry.
Will continue
many
to fight
generations into the future.
It can't be forgotten.
I'll be training them like Ender's Game to be ready.
That's right. All right. So they won't even know.
They won't even know that they're playing a flavor match. Spoiler alert.
Build some cool decks. Keep building cool decks. And then all of a sudden...
Oh, you won the war!
What? Anyway, let's take a look at some of the brews we brought this week. Let's take a look at our list first. Just because I really want to show it off because I'm so excited. You guys.
Yes, we are playing Maria's favorite modern archetype, maybe your favorite archetype.
It could be.
Which is Boggles or Bogles, depending on,
I love how the reaction from Aaron. Just this sad sigh, which is normally what happens when somebody sits down opposite me in Modern. Not Boggles. What is my life?
So we do get to play some of the classic creatures from Modern Boggles, which is 4 Glade Cover Scout and 4 Slippery Boggle.
Yep.
For whom the deck is named.
Yes, indeed. It's a little different than you would play in Modern. Of course, there's no Daybreak Coronet.
There certainly is not.
That's a good card / rare. But we've subbed no Umbras in here. No. We do have Rancor. Thank the heavens, because that card is a staple of the Boggles deck. We've subbed in Ancestral Mask, and you're running more Armadillo Cloaks than we would normally run in a Modern build as well.
Which is sometimes 0.
Yes, so. in fact, sometimes 0. Yeah, but that's a card that was printed in Eternal Masters. So, and we're also running different creatures: Aura Gnarlid and Silhana Ledgewalker. Costly Pride Mage. I don't know how to say that. Costly Pride Mage. Those are normally creatures you wouldn't run either. So it's going to be really interesting how this deck sort of plays out compared to the Modern build. Absolutely. But it is my favorite. Just slap some auras on some hexproof creatures and just go to town.
Yep.
Beat downtown population. Boggles. So what I'm scared of, Aaron, is if you brought a deck that has Edict effects in it.
No.
You're going to make us sacrifice creatures. Well,
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, wow.
Bring up my deck.
Yeah, let's take a look at this spicy build.
The Peasants. So these are Pauper Peasants. They're really doubling down.
Peasants. And apparently the peasants are a bunch of birds and spirits.
Interesting.
So flood the board with little creatures and cast Rally the Peasants to kill you.
All right.
That's the plan.
That sounds like a very reasonable plan. One of my favorite cards from Shadows over Innistrad, I will quickly admit, is Thraben Inspector.
Yeah.
He is. I love that guy too. This deck has 3 of my favorite 1-mana creatures of all time. That guy, Icacian Javelineers, and Soul Warden.
We have never seen Icacian Javelineers.
No.
That is very completely new to us.
But Megan, you
throws
recently
a javelin at you.
Oh, well, my.
All right.
I'm ready for it.
Can you ever be ready for a javelin?
If you're wearing a javelin-proof vest.
Is there such a thing?
Chainmail?
I think it has to be like a tank. I think you have to be wearing a tank to stop a javelin. Put that out there.
Megan drafted a deck recently in Eternal Masters that had... Did you have 4 copies of Squadron Hawk?
I did. I drafted 4 Squadron Hawks. Nice. I know. That's if I had been a little more aggressive, I could have had 6. Which really would have been something. God. But someone was hating them to me. Yes. Yes, it certainly did.
It was pretty sick deck.
They got pretty dead.
I mean, because your deck was super aggressive, and that kind of is where you want to be in Eternal Masters draft.
It had lots of little flyers.
So your deck, while it's not going to edict us, it could kind of slow us down because our Boggle only has 1 toughness until we get
some auras on there.
Some auras on that guy. So I'm a little worried. Because if we draw a bad opening hand and we just have some creatures and nothing to do with them, it could be curtains.
Look at this. 4 triplicate spirits? That's intense. That's a lot.
That's
a good card.
That's a good card. Do you remember hating that card so much during that, what was the draft format? M14?
M15.
Oh, like M15.
M15. My goodness.
Yes.
I just remember being so upset.
Do you want to know my memory of triplicate spirits? It's that M15. So you're drafting another color, not white entirely. Pack 2, you see a triplicate spirit, and you just take it.
And
you switch into white.
Yeah.
That's my memory. Or you drafted the white deck. Anyway.
This format kind of highlights all of our mistakes at Common. It's like Rancor. Like, who made Rancor a common? Who thought that was a reasonable thing to do? An Armadillo Cloak. So that was before I worked here. Triplicate Spirits, I will have to take the blame for that one, though.
I could not believe that Armadillo Cloak was that common.
Yeah, me either, actually.
Because I remember it from Return to Ravnica, where it was an uncommon.
Yes. So
and an amazing card to draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great card.
So Pauper does have some banned cards in it, though. I mean, I don't think you can play Treasure Cruise in Pauper anymore. It's just a little too good.
I think Cranial Plating is banned, and Cloud of Fairies, which created all sorts of insane, lots and lots of mana decks with familiars and wild growths and Ravnica bounce lands and whatnot. So Peregrine Drake's kind of doing that again. Not quite as effectively, but those effects are too good even as commons for this format.
What's your sign when a card is too good for common? How do you know that you've got to bump up the power level to uncommon?
Mostly it's for limited, where if you open 2 or 3 of them, that your deck is just so much better than everyone else's in a draft. Triplicate Spirits probably should have met that criteria. But yeah, cards like that where you're like, I have 3 of these, my opponent has none, there's just no way he can win. And Rancor certainly would have been that. Armadillo Cloak certainly would have been that. Yeah. Many of the cards in many of the decks you see today are going to be that way.
I would love to have drafted in a format. I mean, I did draft Eternal Masters, and I did draft Rancor. But I mean, like, back in the day, drafted a Rancor deck.
The other day, I drafted 3 Rancors.
What? You had 3?
I had 3.
At the Urza's Legacy pre-release, which is the set Rancor is from, we did they were doing drafts of triple Urza's Legacy, so triple small set, and I had a deck with 6 Rancors in it. It was absurd. Yeah, it's like play a 1/1, make it a 7/1, attack you. Trample.
Did you win all of the games?
I did. I beat Mike Turian's dad. I remember very clearly was one of the people I played against with that deck.
Do you still bring that up to Mike Turian? Like,
I do.
Hey,
I bring it up to his
Mike.
dad too.
Sick Rubbins.
Nice. If I ever beat someone's dad, I'll make sure to remind them of it.
Yeah.
It's the number 1 reason I don't let my dad play Magic.
That's the number 1 reason?
Yep, number 1 reason.
Mine would be because whenever I try to teach my dad anything, he just gets mad at me because he used to be a teacher, so he 100% knows how to teach, right? And I'm just like not a teacher, I'm a producer or whatever, and he's just like, slow down, you're going too fast, I don't understand what you mean. Brah!
So your dad critiques your teaching?
Yes.
Wow, harsh.
I know, it's pretty brutal. And that was that one game that's so easy where you make trains.
Trains.
Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride. And he's like, this is so complicated. And he went into a...
That's funny.
Ticket
to Ride is like one of the only board games my mother will play that's not too complicated for her.
Yeah, he did end up winning though, so all was forgiven.
Nice. All right. Well, we've talked about our decks. We've talked about Pauper. Let's start this match. We have a reputation to uphold.
We do.
And a dream to crush.
All right. Just no armadillo cloaks.